Now, underneath us here is the Lemp Cherokee Cave, right here, and it runs this direction. I got a map up actually, too. I'll show you. That runs this direction. And this portion of the cave right here is what they call the public part of the cave. When the Lemps owned the cave, this is where they had a theatrical stage. They had the pool fed by the natural spring underneath. There's a natural spring that they used to brew beer with. There was a ballroom floor, and right here there was a cabana right here, and right here is a spiral staircase, and that's how they would get down into the public portion. Now, what they did was sometime in the 80s they welded this shut, but some entrepreneur and tour guide came with an impact driver. I have to shut this off. You can look down in there. I got some flashlights you guys want to see.
Can't see.
That's okay. I got flashlights here. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Here you go, man. There, just pass it to somebody else.
That's deep.
Well.
It's 31 feet.
I'm hoping everyone has really good feet in there that can climb and get out.
What they did was they busted there was a spiral staircase. Hand it to somebody else that wants to see it.
Oh, that's what that was?
Yeah, down over here.
Oh, wow, you can see the spiral staircase.
Down there, too, there's my $100 stream light that's down there. Anybody want a flashlight?
Wow.
Anybody want a
Where's that
flashlight?
spiral?
See? Over here, and you can see it this direction.
Someone want to hold this?
Right.
It's like a tunnel right in this part.
See? Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it looks like. If we're looking at the top, that's what we're seeing.
And the smoke. What's that from?
That's the heat temperature.
Did you
Interesting.
That's
want your
the
flashlight back, or?
Yeah.
I
Right there is the natural. That's the pool down there. That's the that's if you're looking. We're looking down at it, but if we're looking up, that's how it looks like down on the ground. And there's the map of it. The part that we're looking at is right here. Look at this leg right there.
Do people go down in the caves?
Not
much
very often.
anymore?
Not very often. The owner does for maintenance and stuff like that. He has every once in a while. He'll go, they got to go down there for certain stuff.
I did a haunted house here before, and they took you down in an old service elevator.
Yeah.
And down in the cave areas.
That's in this
That was
building.
been
That's in
20
this-
some odd years ago.
That's in this building right here. Now this is actually these buildings here. These buildings here. This is when beer was made. This here is the hops drying house. This here is the hops storage house. Well, right now, this is like Halloween. You see? Just turn where my flashlight's at. This building right here. Yeah, there's a little building. There's a little building between those buildings called Building 19. It's probably only about as wide as two of these squares. That's it. These buildings were laid out for a fish and flow product when they grew beer. Now, the reason what they used to do was in the caves down here, they would go down the river and they would harvest ice from the river during the winter time, and they would pack it full. They would pack the caves full of straw and ice. That kept the cave 50 degrees all year round. The two most dangerous jobs there were at the brewery was one was working at the ice house, because people would fall through the ice and get sucked down the undertow and drown. The next dangerous job was right here at the hop storage house. Now what they would do at the hop, no, I'm sorry, that's the hop storage. The hop drying house is right here. Now what they would do at the Hobbs drying house is in the basement here, in the first floor, right here, there are two massive ovens. Now the guts of the ovens are removed, but you can still see the brick from what then encased the ovens are still down on. And they had two smokestacks on this side of the building. What would happen is they would fire these ovens up, and they would lay out the hops on the floor in burlap, wet it down. And the reason why this building has so many windows in it, because that's how they regulate the heat. And what they would do, they fire these ovens up, the heat would rise to the building, and it would cause the hops seeds to crack open. So then when they use it for fermentation, the yeast could get inside the seed to get the sugar out and make alcohol. But the problem with this building here was they had two smokestacks right here. If they weren't careful, the far oven over here wouldn't draft right, and it would cause the building to fill with carbon monoxide. Now, several people died because of that. Now, when the International Shoe Company bought it, they took the ovens out, and this was their machine shop. But the next 5 floors were where they stored chemicals from leather tanning. Now, the most toxic industry in the United States is tanning leather. In Ohio, there was a leather tannery in Ohio on a river. I don't know what river it was. But what happened was it shut down 15 years before this incident. But 15 years it shut down. And kids were shooting bottle rockets across the river. Well, 15 years after they shut down the tanneries, the soil and the water was still so contaminated that they caught the river on fire. The water caught on fire and it burned for 7 days. Now, what the International Shoe Company did here was they stored their leather tanning, they stored their toxic chemicals up here. And if they weren't careful, the barrels would outgas and people would succumb to the barrels. What the International Shoe Company did was in the 60s, they took out all the floors of this building. So if you stood down here on the first floor, you could look up and see the roof, the bottom of the roof. Well, in 2007, the roof was caving in. So what Sasha did, the owner, was he brought a big crane in over there, and they tore the roof off, and they brought the materials in. They built floors 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They brought the crane in. They rolled the material down. They built floor 1, 2, 3. And when they got to floor 6, done, then they built the roof and capped it on top. But they brought in leather. They brought in when they were building this building, they had these laser levels that would scan around the walls, and they could tell if the building was plumb. And what they found out, this building was perfectly level. It was built in 1864, had no floors in it for 50 years, and the building was still level. It was plumb. And when they would bring these laser levels in, they would notice that the laser level would go across the wall. It'd make a straight line down the wall. But what happened is, every once in a while, the laser level would jump away from the wall. And Sashi said it was weird because I was watching it, and I was standing in the corner, and I could watch it go and bow out from the wall and come back. And then I told Sashi, during paranormal investigations, we use laser grids. And we look for ripples in the laser grid. As it goes past, as a shadow figure goes past us to the laser grid, you'll see the laser will be shined up against the wall. You'll see the laser separate from the wall, and you'll see a ripple in the grid. I think that's what he saw. He saw an apparition. Workers who work here at this building, they hate going. They really do. So, well, what's that? No, there's nothing. They built the floors and no one's ever rented it out. What was that? Up here? There's floors up there. Production. For the brewery. This was a storage building. This is where they stored the hops. The first floor, couple floors here are a pallet company. I'll take you across the street and you can see it a little better. Now there's a pallet company that works out of this building here. They build pallets. But here, right here, these are light wells. Where this breaks at. And there's one on the other side.
You can get light down there.
Yeah. Now, if you look at these light wells right over here, they go down 1 story. That's it. These light wells go down 3 stories. And it goes down 31 feet. Problem is, they don't know how to get down to those lower levels.
So do you think that connects to that?
No, because they can get to this section of the cave here from inside building 19. You can kind of see how this building right here, you see it kind of goes in. There's a gap between the buildings.
Yeah.
But there's a really narrow building in between there. And it's building 19. What you have here is you have the hops drying, the hops storage. You have the brew house. This right here is the steam house. You have the fermentation house. You have the boiler house. You have the filtration house, the condensation house. And this is all, you see what looks to be bridges? Those are actually pipes, and they're made to transfer material between the buildings so they can transfer product from building to building and improve here. But they do not know. In the Lemp Cave, the Cherokee Cave ends about where this brick line's at. They have no connection with the base of this building, and they don't know how to get into the bottom floors of this building. There's this basement has 3 stories to it.
What do you mean they don't know how to connect?
Well, you can hang somebody from a rope. You know?
I'm surprised nobody's done it yet. I mean,
Nobody, they don't know.
Crazier things can
He's
happen.
never bothered to do it, but there's no, this is a brick floor here. This is a building here, so. They don't know how to get that. If I was there, somebody would be dangling from a rope.
Right.
What?
Right.
Yeah. Well, it has glass windows. There's actually glass pane windows down there. Well, here, look at these. This is the 1-story one here. These are 1 story. They got windows too. Let's see something here.
So it's the same thing right there, but it goes down 3.
No, this one goes down 1.
No, the other side.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to see. This gate's open. It was open. Now this one's open. Okay? This one was broken out. Feel the cold air? You guys feel it?
Oh, a little cold.
Wow.
They chained the gate off.
Might be 3 stories down.
As I say, you go in there, we go down. See down there. That well there, you can see the light well down there. Those are 3 stories deep. I was thinking this. Check that back up. This used to be the old 18th Street. It used to run right down through here. That's it, ran right along this building. Oh, sorry guys, I thought I could show you the light well. I'm kind of surprised no one. Try to use it. Oh, but you can smell it's all musty.
Yeah. You feel the cold air.
Yeah.
It smells like a little bit of mold in there.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Damn thing's probably been sealed up for 100 years.
Kind of almost smells like my room.
Oh,
Yeah, it gets a bit moldy on the carpets. Or something wet goes on the carpet, and that's what you smell.
oh yeah.
So I'm used to smelling mold.
Somebody skinny wants to jump down there. I'll give him a flashlight.
I'm trying to lose weight, thank you very much. I would love to go down there. I have more.
We've got access to this building if we wanted to do another tour and add this to it.
Well, speedunkers go down further than 3 stories.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to dangle somebody off a rope. they get down there?
You know, anybody that is allergic to mold might have a reaction to it, so it's best to have a gas mask just in case.
What's that? 31 feet's kind of hard to, I mean, the ladder for 31 feet, that light will, I mean, your ladder would have to stick out at least 6 feet from the wall. How far does it stick out? How long does it have to stick out? Let me see. The light wheel is not that wide. So chances are you climb all the way down, you can't get around the ladder.
It's gonna be like 5 minutes, about 4 minutes. One of the access doors.
Yeah, this is that was where they can haul product in and out. I'm cut across the wall. That guy wasn't gonna wait. The brewery is letting out on shift. This is the Demon Hill house. We're actually looking at the back of the mansion. The front of the mansion has the French colonial front. This mansion was built in 1848. The French colonial front actually came off a mansion built in 1839. And when it became abandoned, they stole the front of the mansion off and put it on the front of this one in 1863. But back here, you see this little balcony right here. And what this balcony is, people during the daytime, they'll see a little girl running across this balcony like she's playing. These windows, they open up, and they got two little doors that open out, and you can actually walk out onto this balcony. The little girl's room is on the other side of the windows there. And when you look, when they have these rag dolls staged on the bed, at night there'll be staged on the bed for the next morning. They'll come in the morning and the dolls will be on the floor like they were played with. They also have a doll house in that room. They'll be turned like someone was playing with it inside. So.
Who lives here?
Nobody. This is a museum.
Oh, okay. So there's another stage on the back.
Yeah, you can. There's the hours right there. But yeah, I think it costs you $8 to go inside the tour. They don't tell you ghost. There's no ghost. They won't tell you ghost stories. It's only haunted during Halloween. Yes, sir. Of course. You got an orb up there. Oh, cool.
During the gays' 90s.
These here, some of these are original smokehouses. This was an outdoor kitchen at one time.
So all this stuff is part of that?
Yeah. This was actually the original estate too. Right here. I don't know if the cabana was there. I think they built that for weddings. But when you go back to pictures back to 1890, there's always a wooden fence here. got one more story, and then we are done. Does anybody remember Stephen DC in the 80s?
Yeah.
Do you guys? Well, Stephen DC used to do a morning radio show. And every Halloween they'd pick a haunted spot to go to. In the early 80s, they came here to the Lemp Mansion. And while they were broadcasting, they captured an EVP. They were kind of doing like a Ouija board session. And they asked a question, who's here with us? And they came up with it in the name Zeke. They picked up and they got the name Zeke. And then ever since then, people always have speculated that Zeke was a illegitimate child of the Lemp family. Now, during the 50s, people who walked by here, this is the 3rd floor right here. See this line? I guess we can call it a lubber line. These little rectangular windows right here, they're actually at your feet on the 3rd floor. And people have claimed ever since the 1950s to have seen a disfigured boy looking out the window there, and they called it the monkey boy. And he was mentally handicapped. Some people suspect he had Down syndrome. A lot of people say he was a illegitimate child of the Lemp family. I don't believe that. Because in the 1950s, when they started reporting, people started seeing this little child, this wasn't owned by the Lemp family anymore. This was owned by the state of Missouri and used by the Marion Hospital. Now, on the other side of the Lemp Brewery was a place called Marine Avenue, and there was the old Marine Hospital there. And the Marine Hospital by the 50s was turned into an orphanage. I think Zeke was a ward of the state, and they shipped him over here to the Marion Hospital where he can get more oversight, better care, where people can better care. Another thing too, the last person that had children in the Lemp family was William Lemp Jr., and he died in 1922. Now, one night we had the 3rd floor. We did a seance on the 3rd floor, and we set up some cameras. And as during the seance, we did manage to get a hold of Zeke, and we asked Zeke how he died, and he said he was pushed. On one of our cameras, you could see what looked like a black gunny sack. On the 3rd floor, when you get to the top of the stairs, there's a railing. If you look down, you can see all the way down to the basement. And you can see this black gunny sack go over the railing and all the way down. And we believed he was pushed over the railing and he ping-ponged his way all the way down to the basement. What? We don't know where he found him. That's how we think he died, according to what the psychics have told us on that one. Right here, that's the nursery room. A lot of psychics believe that's the heart of the Lemp haunting. A lot of people believe there is a portal or vortex to the other side in that room. Now, did anybody ever hear those adventures of Zach Baggins? Well, Zach Baggins, when he came to the Lemp, he wanted to go inside that room. Paul Pointer said no. Zach stomped his feet, said he wasn't going to shoot the episode. Paul Pointer said bye. Zach stomped around, came back, and shot the episode. Now, I don't know why that room is locked 24/7. They don't let anybody in there. If you think of it too, each one of these rooms generates about $30,000 a year for the Pointer family. Look at that.
Oh my
Big old
God.
mess.
Looked like a rat at the top.
Yeah. Each one of these rooms generates $30,000 a year for the Pointer family. Multiply that by 35 years, that's $1 million.
Hold on.
Whatever is in that room scares them to a tune of $1 million.
We've
What's
been
that?
just walking around lots.
What's that? Oh, okay. So whatever's in that room scares them to the tune of $1 million. When their brother, when they were renovating the first and second floor of the mansion, their brother was working at the top of the staircase, and something came out of that room and scared them so bad, scared his brother so bad that it took him 20 years before he came into that house. So I've been in that room one time. I found it unlocked once, and my tour went inside there. Paul found out about it. He was so angry that I thought I was going to have to fight him. If you ask anybody in the house what's in that room, they will say storage. But when you go in there, there is old furniture in there. And also boxes, receipt boxes. We walked in there, looked around, and we walked out. And if you go up there in the daytime and that door is open, someone would come out of the office and shut it immediately. They don't let anybody in there. They open, I guess they open it for storage. They keep the receipts and paperwork in there. Right there, that's the third story right there too. What's that? Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. But yeah, that's the third story too. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Sorry, you guys.
Oh, that's okay. We're done anyway.
Oh, thanks.
But yeah, that's the third story also. That's the Frederick Lemp suite right there. Actually, that's the Frederick Lemp suite. Those two windows right there. There's actually you can't see them. There's a room behind the bed. But you got another orb there in the people. There's a picture online, and people have seen a little girl looking out this window right here. I've been on tour, doing tours, and something big white has come up behind the glass while I was talking. So, but yeah. Well, guys, thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys are the most quiet group I ever had in my life, which kind of makes you worried. We got apparitions. With our cameras, we've captured apparitions. People have been touched. People have smelled things. We've actually seen the beds kind of dip down. We've actually captured things in the mirrors. Sometimes, I mean.